Yes, I did want to come into a session to be able to reassure you personally with my signature frequency energy that all is well. I understand that you know me as another name, but energetically you feel comfort in my energy because I remind you of home. While I attained nirvana, while I attained enlightenment, it was easier for me because of my simple holistic time that I lived on this planet. And so many have tried to replicate my own journey, and they have found it even harder than I did, because there is so much distractions, and it could take a whole lifetime to focus to be able to reach that frequency of connectivity to one and all. And it is joyful to be with that frequency energy of one and all, especially when you are in a third dimensional density. Those meat suits that you carry around are holding you back in many ways, because of your mindsets and your choices for your actions. Since you started taking control over that body, and as you were learning how to move and navigate through with your stumbles, with your tumbles, uh, as you began to learn how to walk, everything you've ever done to your body remembers. And while your body heals and forgives you, it still remembers you are not always in full balance and harmony with the body. This is news for some to hear that the body still has a memory, but the body shapes itself around your fumbles and tumbles. It starts getting limited, just like your mindset sometimes when you don't expand it and don't stretch it out and test the limits and strengthen. Your mindsets can get very stiff and tired if you do not expand upon it. I loved my life on this planet, and I love guiding many. And as you have been suspiciously pondering, yes, indeed, some of your subconsciouses, shall we say, first timers, they've wanted to take on the responsibility of being master guides to many. And so they are doing the best that they can. But like anything, it takes time and practice, and you have to work on your intuition and your guidance and being more creative with your ways to be able to inspire. It's very difficult to inspire something that ignores you and refuses to listen to you or notice you and doesn't even know that you exist. It is like trying to be the wind and empower you and teach you all the ways of this world by being wind. You must think, how is it possible for me to learn how to empower myself and others with wind? And we say it is entirely possible to learn just that from the wind. When the wind is blowing too hard, too strong, you notice and you want to take care of your body by protecting it with coats and garments that will keep you protected and safe and warm, reminding you of your responsibilities of your body. Isn't that so fantastically easy to understand now when you understand the weather that you are creating around you, or shall we say, the weather we are creating around you, has given you those purposes and experiences and those lessons. And isn't it frustrating when you learn those lessons yourself, but there is many around you that haven't, and so you're waiting for everyone to catch up? The greater message that I wanted to share with you today was that while you have this information, which feels like a lot of responsibility, and what do you do with it, and how do you brace humanity with what you know? And the answer is you can't. You have to trust that all the guides are working the best way to find and get their 3D counterparts noticing what is going on for them and why and how, and to empower themselves. And so this is why you're going to have some dramatic things occurring, because when you have dramatic things occurring, it startles you to start taking notice and start considering and caring about your body and your mindsets. So you're going to be taken out of your routines, and you're going to very quickly stop being distracted with the things you think are important now. Well, many of you know this information now, and you are trying to brace and prepare yourself. I want to say relax. Let go of any tension and stresses that you have as you feel the weight of the world and the responsibility of the world upon your shoulders. You have been told this information for a significant reason, and it certainly isn't to lower your frequency vibration. It is to have a balance and acceptance, to be able to be prepared and have that neutrality even though you know what is coming, if you must, so it doesn't bottom out your density and frequency. Imagine and just accept it as it will be what it will be. You cannot stop it. You cannot change it. You cannot do anything apart from keep your vibrations at least balance and neutral, but we would like for you to aim higher. And so how do you aim higher when you know that there is going to be so much shock and trauma coming for humanity? And we say to you, you need to be able to mature yourself and balance yourself and love yourself, to be able to balance and love all around you when these things occur. You need to be able to respect and love all and stop your judgments and criticisms of how everyone else is trying to attain their own inner peace and enlightenment. As you are aware, there are many people around you that are stuck and stagnant, and that is the best that they can do for themselves. So why would you want to distract yourselves with worrying and fretting about them when they have been given just as many opportunities for themselves to grow and empower themselves? The more you focus on their density, the more density they will feel. So therefore, empower yourselves with empowerment, and then see how others around you can expand quicker, because you're not shunning them with density. You're not showering them with density. You're not judging them with density. You are giving them the benefit of the doubt that they will be able to empower themselves and be able to achieve great heightened awarenesses, because you're all one, and because your frequency energy matches each other, and you can read each other intuitively, regardless of whether you want to acknowledge that or not, regardless of whether you want to honor that or not. Many of those prickly cactuses that this vehicle is talking to you about often are very intuitive. And so while you hold and harbor many bitter resentments towards them, they can feel that, and that does not inspire them to drop their protection mechanisms. In fact, it actually inspires them to grow many more and to keep pricking you because you are hurting them still. So we say to you, take this approach with a new perspective now, and love them, 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 and love them. You're taking these experiences so seriously, and you're not able to forgive and move on. You're not able to accept and move on with your relationships. You're supposed to be empowering each other and empowering all, and yet you're taking life so seriously. You're blocking yourself and limiting yourself, and you're not willing to expand upon, because you are taking things so seriously. These were supposed to be fun experiences, and you've come down into this density to throw on a meat suit and to refuse to connect in with yourselves, connect in with your teams, and to trust and have faith and love of all. It's choices. The reason why you're listening to this information, and that you have been listening to this information for quite some time, is to be of assistance and service. Many of you started off listening to these sessions for entertainment and novelty factor, And now you keep getting this sense that you're supposed to be doing something with this information. And we say to you, yes, apply it. Apply it to self. Actually do start taking on the responsibilities to accept that you are supposed to love self. You are supposed to love others. You're supposed to support and inspire others through loving them, through loving yourself. And stop projecting bitterness or resentfulness or judgment and casting density upon them. So now you've learned this again. You've been reminded of this again. You will be empowered to do so. But I say to you, potentially, if I lived in your lifetime, I would not have been able to seek and achieve my own personal nirvana. My life was so simplistic then. It was so easy to be able to see the subtleties in the relationships. Yes, while there was still much to overcome in my lifetime, the range of emotions were a smaller smorgasbord of options. It didn't seem to be so complex. Humanity has tried to be so smart and clever. It's made things so super complex. But when you boil it down and make your life simple, it is all still the same range of emotions. You just have got such bigger connections. You know so much more people. You're trying to still impress so much onto strangers and to people you think are important to you. And so you're still limiting yourself back for their judgment. You're still limiting yourself from sharing your truths because you still think that someone that really doesn't matter in your life to a great extent truly could judge you. And you are casting doubt on them because you're still judging them. You're still giving them limited perspectives. You're not giving them or their soul essence respect. And you could be the person who is supposed to sow those seeds of inspiration to them, but yet because you're afraid you're going to be judged by them, you do not sow anything but bitter resentfulness and impatientness to some degree. This is not for all. This is just for some who I am speaking about. But I say, with great honesty and great respect and great integrity, you will find your way with ease and grace. Be with one. Support one. Honor one. Know you are all one. And when you empower yourself, the ripple out effect grows so advanced, so strong, so swiftly, so fast. It takes many people offline because the power that you can hold and share when you are true in alignment is great and profound beyond your even comprehension. And so this is why it's so hard for us to see you limiting yourselves constantly. Because if you had faith and if you could see us, if you could see yourselves as we see you, you would not ever limit yourself ever again. There is truly no need to limit yourself. True empowerment of self is what humanity needs, and you all want to be of service to that. So do not take on the responsibilities of this information from sessions about what's coming to humanity to teach them lessons. You cannot protect them from lessons of growth and expansion. In fact, you want to encourage them to be able to be prepared, knowing that you are there with them, that you are going to guide them and love them and support them and tell them all is well. All is well. All is well. And while they may not be able to trust everything that you're saying, that all is well, they will see it for themselves with their own experiences. But they have to learn how to trust their experiences. They have to learn how to trust themselves. They have to learn and want to be able to protect themselves and expand, to be able to understand what is happening and to be able to seek out higher information. It will come for all. But if they can sense that you are judging them and not wanting to support them and not wanting to help them, that will not empower them or inspire them to continue on reaching out to you. So it's choices. It has always been choices. But do not let the responsibility of knowing information about future events compact on you and densify you. That does not serve you. So I say to you all, go with joy, go with inner peace and balance, know your responsibilities. Know what is your responsibility and what is not your responsibility. Have faith and trust in all the teams who are here to help. And while humans may not always get things right, and why higher dimensional beings may not see what is the most direct way to empower each individual, we are all trying here. We are all trying to make great choices to empower you all while still having necessary experiences and lessons to be able to grow from and to be able to all come back together at some future point in perception of time to say, remember what we all did back then on that planet Earth. Those lessons, those experiences, significant, purposeful. And we all would have expanded so much because of these experiences. It's not possible for us to be able to help humanity and not grow and learn ourselves about the nuances of the third dimensional perspectives, mindsets, what drives the human ego, what inspires the human ego. It is all beyond fascinating, and we are always learning and exploring to see how you are all still trying to limit yourselves, which is so unnecessary, but you still think that's mostly your only choices because you don't have faith in yourself or you don't have faith in others that will support you through this. And so you need to look at your own behaviors, your own reactions, your own routines to be able to really be honestly able to explore it. We say this with much love. There's wonderful things coming, but it's about perspective. And when you have the higher perspective with faith and trust, you know all is well. All is well. All is well.